difficulties. Now we have sound.
Okay, that's great.
So we
Silent film.
So we have a senator who's now a new president who speaks about lower taxes. He talks about cut spending, okay? And the man is good, okay? Senator Morse, who's our new Senate president, he's talking about limiting government, creating jobs in New Hampshire. And how do we create jobs in New Hampshire? Well, you know, let me give you a quick example. 68,000 people in New Hampshire work in Massachusetts. Let's bring them home. Bring them home.
They want to stop paying Massachusetts income taxes.
Exactly,
We've got to make it possible for them to be here. By the way, I found the quote I was looking for. You know when we said about free money and programs sponsored by government, and everybody, nobody stops to think where the money's coming from. There's a quote from a woman, Mrs. Vincent, in California earlier this week. I want people to be covered. I just didn't realize I'd be the one paying for it personally. Well, duh.
Yeah, that's the Obamacare. That was on the radio this morning.
That is Obamacare, absolutely. And people are very much being surprised. You know, I'm looking at as a financial train wreck. And one of the things that is going to be affected is that Medicare money, both Medicare and Medicaid. And again, does anybody ever step up in the Senate and say, what is the proper role of government? I mean, for us, we hear the Democrats talk about the social compact all the time. It's the Constitution. They can't point to a social contract. They say, well, we've all agreed to this. And I can never get one of them to say, show me the paper. Until I say, here's the Constitution. They go, yeah, not a big deal. You mentioned Andy Sam is one that stands up and says, is that, you know, and is trying to defend it. Does he talk about the Constitution?
Oh, sure. Yes, he does a lot. You're going to have the Senate president here today. Okay, you're not going to use the proper words. Rape the man today. Okay, pull all the information out. He's there. Okay, I hate to use those words, but that's true. The man is good. He'll be very honest when he speaks to you. I like the Senate president, and even though his daughter graduated from the same high school I did, which is Central Catholic High School in Lawrence, got to throw a plug in, but it went co-ed back in 1998. And looking back, and it was St. Mary's was a school in Lawrence, all females, and Central Catholic was all males. Well, they went bankrupt, they closed up the school, and guess what? Central Catholic brought those girls in. So now it's a co-ed school. And how do you find, when I went back for my 50th reunion back in 2006, 100% went to college and graduates, 100%. It was the first time in history of the school. So they're doing something right that we're not doing right here in New Hampshire.
Well, you know, one of the things that's being bandied about now is Common Core.
I got a bill on that one.
Yeah.
It sounds lovely and fuzzy, and everybody shall have and be taught to the same standards, and everybody shall know at least this minimum. The problem is the minimum's not very good, the teaching methods are lousy, and the objective is to create the next generation of serfs.
Exactly right. Because their education now is being geared towards a community college level, not even college. But you know, what do you do when I start reading some of the articles on it, and you get a person in the kindergarten, and they just put the question, and they're all computers by the way, so there's a computer question, 1 + 1, what's the answer? They haven't taught the individuals or the children yet. They want to know what the answer is. If you get the answer wrong, why did you get it wrong? How does a 5-year-old, 4-year-old know to get the answer wrong if they've never been taught? It's part of what's the beginning of Common Core, what I call the brainwashing part of the indoctrination of the children in this country.
Well, here's the thing that disturbs me the most. Obviously, we've had the NSA scandal, the FBI scandal, the DEA scandal, where everything's being hoovered up as far as data is concerned. And now Common Core and Obamacare doing the same thing. And it's only a matter of time before everything's going to tighten. As a software engineer, I know this is about to happen. And they're crowing about the idea that we're going to follow, in some cases, prenatal all the way through all the way through. It's like, if I'm a free person, do I want my government to be that intrusive? I mean, it's bad enough now with Obamacare. If I get a raise, I have to report that to the IRS. If I change jobs, I have to report that to the IRS. If somebody else in my household has a major life change, I have to report that to the IRS. But is it with Common Core, going back to Common Core, there's almost 400 data points on each child. Time phase data, as it's called. What is the New Hampshire Senate going to do to protect us about this intrusion? use of this? What is the plan to rein in the Department of Education on trying to push this with money as well?
I submitted a bill to set up a commission to look at the entire Common Core on every school level throughout the state, all the way up to the Department of Education. Now, one of the people who's going to be in the Department on that commission is going to be a member of the Department of Education. I want to know what they're going to be doing. People need to understand, okay, we don't control these children, parents do. That's where the education comes from. You can't affect the homeschoolers, and that's what they're going to be doing too.
Well, there's several LSRs in the House that are being put in for accountability of homeschooling. And again, you see the idea, especially from the progressives, to say your kids are ours. And we've put up several articles about that over the last year where progressives believe parents really don't have the responsibility. And you look here in the state. Why is it that during summer vacations or school vacations that we should be feeding the kids breakfast, lunch, and dinner? At what point, even when the parents can do this, at what point do we tell government to stop? So what are you guys in the Senate doing to stop intrusive government? Otherwise, I mean, let me put it to you this way.
We can make a law. That's about all you can do. You can make laws for it, but that's not going to be the problem.
I mean, the founders saw three entities in our life. Individuals, a very small state, and a very large civil society. Progressives want to eliminate that buffer of civil society so that there's only the state and only the individual.
Skip, let me go back to the progressive I keep hearing you say.
Yeah.
Okay. Hillary Clinton is a progressive socialist.
Yes.
And that's what she is. You read her theses. You got to read her thesis.
It's never been released.
That's right. But I have it somewhere in my house, and I'll find it yet. I remember one of the schools put it out, and I'll find that thesis because she taught. I read it years ago, back in 1968, 69.
What was that?
The main thing is that she wanted to turn around and that the government takes over your children at age 3. Well, no kidding. Guess what they're doing now? Even with Common Core.
Yeah,
starting right off the bat.
Well, Obama just announced he wants universal pre-K starting at age 4.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
right.
at what point do you say no? At what? And if you look into history, which progressives never want to do, they never want to look back. They always say forward. But our founders are progressives don't want us to look back in history. Every single, and I hate that. Here in the land of the free, in the United States of America, and I look at the history of totalitarian governments, and they always wanted the kids, one way or the other. And you brought up the computerized testing. It's going to be very hard for parents to see what is it that my kids are learning because everything's on the computer. Now, as a computer guy, I understand that, but where is the responsibility of the parents in trying to figure out what is it my kids are being taught?
Remember what the government wants to do? Take away the children from the parents at age 3. That's the whole progressive theory. And that's what they're doing in this country. Little by little, they're working on it.
Right, and so, I mean, one of the things you're saying about computerized testing is there's no paper trail, there's no paper test to bring home, so unless the parents are allowed to log in and see the tests, they'll never know what's in them.
And anybody who's ever worked in quality control can tell you that if it's not in writing, it's
correct. Yeah, and well, there's a, that's an excellent idea.
But there's a segue because writing is going to go away too.
Well, you've got an absolute great idea, which is if you can't see it, parents can't be responsible for it. How about a bill, Senator, that says parents are entitled to see everything?
Let's sit down and write it up.
I will absolutely be there.
No test shall be administered to the children, nor questions asked, lest they be posted on the school's website for all parents to see.
I like that.
This event's going to start in a couple of minutes. So I just want to be ready for that, segueing you into the next.
7 more minutes ago. But that's a good idea. I'll sit down with you. Believe me, I have until the end of the month to bill it. So we got time.
I'll be there. Farmington is not that very far
You know where
away
I'm at.
from my
Just give me a buzz. I'm on the internet.
See, Granite Rock, on the march again. We're making a difference here.
Andrew Rice Hawkins is going.
Remember, all right, lower taxes, cut the spending.
Great.
Always.
All right, well, Sam, Senator Sam, if you don't mind, I want to say thank you very much for spending
pleasure.
more than a few minutes with Granite Rock. It's been a while.
It's been a long while.
We're going to have you in for our Glock Talk Saturday mornings.
Okay, cool.
we'll keep this going with flux. Common Core, I think, is going to be.
It's got, oh yes, it is. It is. Thank you very much, Skip, and everyone else.
All right.
And the former person from Tewksbury.
Very briefly, just a week.
He was born there. That was it. He left. He left Massachusetts.
I did immediately. Well, actually, no, that's not true.
Your parents.
My parents lived in about a year.
Well, thank you very much, all of you. It's been a pleasure today.
And I left Massachusetts just as soon as I could have my pay point moved with me, so I wasn't paying Massachusetts income taxes.
Thanks again, Skip.
Well, thank you very much.
And keep pushing. Okay, for limited government.
Well, we will.
And we're going to keep pushing the limits too.
Thank you. Cool. Thank you very much.
All right.
Sam, keep up the fight.
I shall.
We've got a lot going on here, folks. People are starting to come in.
Croc TV.